You know, all around the world people are looking at their learning to see how they can do it better, and it doesn't matter whether it's the Maori children in New Zealand or right up in the north in the Arctic Circle, the Barents Sea in Norway, and the great metropolises of Chicago and London. People are saying to themselves, I wonder how our learning can be better. And the bits they find they need are a really strong sense of community. They need longevity. They need families that know each other. They need caution. They need not too much ego. You know, the people that shout about how wonderful their learning can be aren't usually doing it very well. This community, with all its caution, and look at what it says on the sign here, you know, it's welcoming me, but it's advising me to drive carefully, and by the way, there's a speed limit even if I didn't. You know? That sense of cautious wisdom turns out to be essential to all this. Now, what do you need to add to that? Ambition. You know, as I walk around the streets, as I chat to the children and the teachers and the parents, you know, find people who really are up for building the best school in Scotland, the best school in the Northern Hemisphere, the best school imaginable. And they know how to do it because we've seen schools all around the world that have got tried and tested ingredients, some of which seem slightly mad and counterintuitive, like taking your shoes off in learning. Some of which seem absolutely flipping obvious, like making the toilets better. And some of which is come out of the science of learning, you know, our understanding of the importance of noise in the classroom, our understanding of the importance of natural light, of temperature, of collegiality, of mutuality, of problem solving, of preparing children for the world of unexpected surprises that's going to be the rest of this century, rather than the world of certainty that was the last century. We know how to do all that. And there are schools all around the world that are doing bits of it. The challenge here is simply to say which of those things that other schools are doing work for us here as a community. What work for our children, for our future, for our history, for our ambition. And, you know, I guess it must have been a bit like that when they were building the first motor car. You know, everybody had a rough idea of what a car might look like, and you know, the Model T, I think, has the clutch pedal in the middle, which seemed like a good idea until they saw a car where the clutch pedal was on the left, and they thought, you know, that seems to work, we'll adopt that, we'll try that. Yeah, you know, we're building great learning here, and with all the opportunities that you have here, of community, of stability, of history, of ambition, of wealth, it would be churlish, wouldn't it, if we just carried on building education the way it used to be, with coasting kids and, you know, and children not realising just how good they could be. And, you know, as I go to places in the world in really tough economies where the teachers have all died of AIDS or run away, or where, you know, I was talking to the Minister of Education in Kurdistan. I said, what's important in the design of your schools? And she said, it was a she, by the way, she said, you know, the most important thing is that from the air, our schools don't look like military installations, because when we do that, they get bombed. You know, other people have got terrible troubles with their learning. You've got all the opportunities here. And I think there's a kind of I think you're on a bound. Not just to do the best for your kids and for your future, but to do the best you can for the world's future. I think we can amend this world with learning, and I think you can be a big part of all that. You've only got to be ambitious, you've only got to be brave. The one thing I would say, and I'm pretty old, but these are wrinkles here, you know, the only thing I would say is that in my 35 years of this, every project I've done with children, with teachers, with communities, with parents, the projects that have woken me up in the middle of the night in terror, where I've been, you know, in a cold sweat thinking I've gone too far, those were the ones that were just brave enough. The only challenge you have here is to know how brave you want to be. The only question you need to ask yourselves is, I wonder how good our kids might be in the global scheme of things. I wonder how many opportunities we might give them. And as long as that wondering is limitless, you will build the best school, the best learning community, the best B&G campus, the best experience the world's ever seen. So come on, go for it. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.